One. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Mod Squad Network. Layeth the squad down. I am your host, Kevin. Joining me, as always, is Steve.
Hey, everybody, what's going down?
Man, we had some wrestling this week and a pay-per-view.
Oh, man. What a time to be alive in the world of professional wrestling. I feel like I've said that before, but what a time to be alive.
Let's start this off with Raw, shall we?
Sure.
It was the 30th anniversary of Raw. Raw opened with Hulk Hogan and Jimmy Hart coming out to give a brief introduction.
And a bad microphone.
And a horrible microphone. But once we came back from break, the Bloodlines music hit and everyone came out to the stage to bring us the trial of Sami Zayn.
Trial of Sami Zayn.
The trial of Sami Zayn, to which I actually thought it was really good. Really good. It felt like we skipped a step from last week because the whole Paul Heyman "I hate Sami Zayn" thing freaking out of nowhere, but they showed clips of how Sami Zayn kind of is
They showed
against the
evidence.
bloodline.
I believe the word you're looking for is evidence, since it was a trial.
Yes,
Exhibit A, Exhibit B.
yes.
You could say all you want about Paul, but Paul Heyman is a conniving little twerp
This is true.
of a devilish, conniving person that I aspire to be as a manager in the world of professional wrestling.
This is true.
So he can say whatever he wants. He can be like loving to your face, Shmooly, I love you, you're the best. You're around
you in the back, yeah.
And then the next thing, I have said from the beginning that Shmooly was a bad man and only out for himself. He's Paul Heyman. He can do whatever he wants. Yeah. Like, I love it.
Anyway, he produced evidence throughout the past year that Zayn was against the bloodline, how he was in it with Kevin Owens the whole time. And Sami Zayn, his defense was, you know what? For everyone to say this is it hurts. It hurts. I was going to provide evidence, but it hurts so bad. I have no evidence. And then
my defense is I have
no defense. Yeah.
And Roman did not like that at all.
Oh, he did not. He's like, so you're just giving up now. Everything we've done for you, you don't want this anymore. And he goes Solo. So Solo goes up to walks behind Zayn and goes and about to spike him. And as he goes to do it, who saves him?
Jey Uso.
Jey Uso. And he's like, look, dog, I provided my own evidence for you. And he I actually thought Jay's evidence was more convincing than
Paul's.
Heyman's.
100%.
And Roman's like, all right, you're safe for now.
I don't want to see you until Saturday. He's like, exactly. I don't even want to see you on SmackDown.
Exactly. I don't want to see you at any shows. I don't want to see you till Saturday. And that was basically it on that. They walked out, and not Solo, but Jay and Sammy were hugging, and it was a good
it was scene. A good moment.
Yeah. Then we have the Usos versus the Judgment Day for the Raw Tag Team titles. It was a decent match, but the Usos win.
I'm over. Dude, the Usos are beating everybody until it's Sammy and Owens as a tag team. It doesn't matter. Next week, spoiler alert, coming up on SmackDown, we're going to have the team of Braun Strowman and Ricochet versus Imperium. And the winners of that, now here's what I think is interesting. The winners of that go on to face the Usos for the SmackDown tag team championships. Not the unified, but the SmackDown, which leads me to believe they are going to split up the belts.
Yeah, because this was for the Raw Tag Team titles. This wasn't for the Unified. This was for the Raw Tag Team titles.
Right.
Yeah.
And so they're going to be facing, in reality, I don't think it matters. I think any team that they're putting up against the Usos is going to lose
I
until
will
it's the team of Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens.
I
There's
will
no
get
point
there.
to have this big continuous, because even, we'll get into it with the Rumble, but Jay and Sammy right now, like, we'll get
They're
into it with the
bros. They're
Rumble.
bros. They're bros.
We'll get into it with the Rumble, but like, I like what they're doing. Please continue with Raw.
Next, we have Bailey versus Becky. Uh, well, before that, LA Knight came out to talk about his
Yeah.
match with Bray Wyatt.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was in a row. Oh, this was so good. This was so good. LA Knight comes out to talk about his match, and he's like, I know that there's a bunch of old people out there in the back.
No legends will come out here to shut me up.
And then, oh my God, you hear boom. And then it gets quiet, and then you hear, I am
am an
American.
American badass. Oh my
Watch
God,
me
I
kick.
laughed
Oh my God.
so hard.
I loved it. He comes rolling down on the motorcycle, gets in the ring, and LA Knight kind of gets out. He says, "You know what? I'm gonna spare you for this, because you're so awesome or whatever." Yeah,
Yep.
And then all the lights go out, and standing behind him is Bray Wyatt with the lantern. And so
And they did a really bad camera angle, because it wasn't until like the fourth or fifth cut that they showed that it was Bray Wyatt holding the lantern.
Yeah.
That should have been something that they showed right away. But either way. Yeah, he gets back in.
Yeah, he gets back in. The Undertaker grabs him by the throat and then shoves him to Bray Wyatt for his sister Abigail. It was
And then Undertaker whispers something in Bray Wyatt's ear.
Yeah.
People are speculating whether it was advice for the match coming up or whether it's a build-up for WrestleMania. I really hope it's not a build-up for WrestleMania.
I think it was more of a passing of the torch. It was more of a passing of the torch. Bray Wyatt's not.
You're saying they're gonna make Bray Wyatt the next Undertaker?
No,
because that's horrible fucking comparison.
No, I'm saying that they're making Bray Wyatt the next supernatural type character. You know?
Guess.
Yeah. Anyway, after this we have Becky Lynch versus Bailey. No one wins. No one wins. It's Dakota Kai and Sky get in there before the match even starts again. So
in the cage match. And for some reason they were going to be putting this on as a cage match.
Yeah. Yeah. Cage match that never happened. Cage match that never happened. Never got started. Never got started. Next we get DX coming down to the ring. Let me rephrase that. Imperium comes down to the ring.
I laughed so many times because I don't even know if you mentioned the APA card game.
I have not. No.
Okay, I laughed with that. I laughed with this because Imperium comes out. No. DX comes out and then Imperium comes out.
Yeah.
But I laugh so hard. I'll let you go ahead with what happens. But I gut laughed so many times during this episode of Raw.
Oh yeah, it was a really good episode of Raw. They come out, do their stick, and then Road Dogg goes, "Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, DX proudly presents to you its five-time tag team champions of the world, the Road Dogg, Jesse James, the bet."
Kurt Angle.
Kurt Angle? What are you doing out here? And Kurt's like, "I've always wanted to be in DX."
And then takes off his shirt to show a DX shirt underneath.
Yes. And so he does the little DX thing, and then Imperium comes out, says that, can't believe that they're degenerates. They want to, hold the integrity of the ring. And they're like, who wants to wrestle? And they go through each one of them. I can't wrestle. I'm too old. I got a bad hip, stuff like that.
I'm retired.
Yeah.
It's a great bit. If you haven't seen it, go look it up. It's on YouTube.
Yeah. Then Seth Rollins ends up coming out. Then
no, the best is like Triple H goes, if only there were a wrestler in the back that could come and wrestle these guys. And then Seth Rollins hits, and then X-Pac goes, oh man, but there's 3 of them and one of him. if only there were a tag team in the back that would come to his aid. And the Street Profits come out.
Oh, yeah.
And the best part, man, this it just keeps going a step beyond. And then they're like, well, we need an official. And Kurt's like, I have an idea. I have an idea. And
Kurt,
they're like,
Kurt, we're talking.
No, hey guys, I have an idea. Takes off the second shirt to reveal a sleeveless referee. And then they go,
a red, white, and blue referee shirt. A red,
if only someone were here that could make this match official. Hit him, Kevin. Who comes out?
Let me tell you something, player.
Holla, holla.
Teddy Long comes out and says we're going to have a tag team match, player.
That's right. Oh, my God. Such a good one. So then we get Imperium versus Seth Rollins and the Street Profits.
Rollins and the Profit win. I was wanting to blow through the Raw and SmackDown, but I can't because Raw was so good. Then we have Bianca Belair versus Sonya Deville.
Bianca wins.
Yeah, Bianca wins. Austin Theory versus Bobby Lashley for the United States title. This was the main event of the night. Dude, this was a really good match until who shows up?
I have no idea who shows up.
Lesnar shows up at the end of the match. Brock Lesnar shows up. F5's Bobby Lashley, then F5's Austin Theory on top of him to end the match.
Austin Theory, and that's Raw, and that's all set up for the Rumble.
It is all set up for the Rumble. So let's move on down to SmackDown, shall we? SmackDown.
Yes, let's.
SmackDown. Karrion Kross versus Rey Mysterio. Mysterio wins.
Mysterio wins by a crucifix pin.
Yeah.
Mysterio wins by a crucifix pin. The only way that in existence ever how Rey Mysterio would legitimately beat Karrion Kross in a wrestling match. I don't get me wrong. I like Rey. But like this is a Darby Allin situation. He wins a match that in real life would just get knocked out in a heartbeat. Sorry, continue with SmackDown.
No. Then we have a backstage. Backstage segment. Yeah. No. Well, United States champion Austin Theory hit the ring to cut a promo. Oh, sorry. I got the little burpees. Burpees
so Austin Theory comes out to cut a promo talking about how
vying to win in Headline Mania. The New Day interrupts, followed by The Miz and Bobby Lashley. The Almighty made a quick work of everyone before cutting a promo of his own, calling out Brock. The Beast leaped over the guardrail, attacking Leslie and downed him with the F5 before revealing that he will be competing in Saturday's Royal Rumble. Yeah, B. It was a B segment. Then we have Lacey Evans versus Jasmine Allure. This was just a beatdown, just so Evans can get TV time. Evans wins.
I skipped right over it. No. And I don't normally like just generalize talk shit about someone on the show or call them out for the petty, stupid effing things that they do. But Lacey Evans can suck the biggest of D's. Yeah. Go watch her introduction on SmackDown, and she goes to high five a kid with Down syndrome.
I saw that.
It's like, yeah, you thought you were gonna get a high five. Do it to any other kid. Do it to any other kid. You are the biggest piece of shit in my book. I don't care how much the people like you. I don't care how much you want to be there. I don't care how much you want to revamp yourself. This is the fourth or fifth incarnation for Lacey Evans because she is such a shitty performer. They can't figure out a proper gimmick for her. And this right here does not help her thing. Let alone the fact that a couple months ago, she was trying to say that vaccines were bullshit and that they cause autism. Rant's done on Lacey Evans.
All right, I want to backtrack a little bit because to start the show, you saw the Usos pull in, and Sami Zayn, Sami Zayn in a hoodie is
Bro, Jay.
outside the arena, and he says, "Jay, I just want to thank you for what you did on." And Jay's like, "Dude, you're not supposed to be here." He's like, "That's why I'm not going in. That's why I'm not going in. I just wanted to say thank you. If you need anything ever, I'm here for you." And then he walks away.
Know.
Yeah. So I just wanted to backtrack on that. Then we have the SmackDown Tag Team Championship Contenders Tournament semifinals. It was supposed to be Hit Row versus what's their tag team name?
It's Drew and Sheamus.
Yeah, but they had a tag team name.
I don't know.
Don't know. Yeah. Okay.
Nope. Don't know. Don't even care.
But Sheamus and Drew.
I do not care about them as a tag team because I am 100% over Drew McIntyre. That's just me.
I got you. They get Drew and Sheamus actually get attacked by the Viking Raiders before the match starts. Hit Row hit the ring, and Adam Pearce comes out and says that they're not getting a ride through. So who comes out but Ricochet and Braun Strowman?
Here's your tag team.
Yeah.
It's such a dumb tag team.
Ricochet and Braun Strowman win.
They win. And now they face Imperium next week to find out who's going to be the number one contender for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships.
Then we have
what was the point? What was the point of unifying the tag team championships if you're going to have them defended separately as belts? Sorry, please continue.
I don't know. Then we have LA Knight come out. LA Knight,
yeah.
Yeah, he came out dressed as the original Bray Wyatt,
which I love. With the original Firefly song and
yeah, I was like, dude, why is he going back to the original song? And then I see him come. Wait, that's not Bray Wyatt?
And it was LA Knight.
It took me a second. Yeah, he comes out mocking the original incarnation of Bray Wyatt. Wyatt actually interrupts and said, "For the time for talking was over," and wrapped up with an ominous line about lights going out. Then we see Uncle Howdy in the skybox.
Anytime anyone says "when the lights go out," because I did a feud in the independent wrestling scene where someone continuously used the line "when the lights go out," and several times during this promo for the Black Lights match, they said "when the lights go out." Every time I hear "when the lights go out," all I can think about is Oingo Boingo, who have a song called "When the Lights Go Out."
Okay. Next we have we have a SmackDown Tag Team Championship Contender Tournament semifinal match. It is Imperium versus Legado del Fantasma.
Boy, spoiler alert, because I already said who's facing for the finals next week.
Yep,
it's
Imperium wins.
And don't get me wrong, I love Legado del Fantasma. Like I think Escobar is a very talented wrestler. I loved him in Lucha Underground. I loved him on NXT. I love him on SmackDown. But Imperium is better.
Yeah. Earlier we had a backstage segment where you saw Kevin Owens getting ready for his match, and then the Bloodline, where there was almost a brawl. They were separated, and Bloodline were forced to leave the ring the stadium. As they get ready to leave, you see Jay call up somebody saying he needs a favor.
Oh, we know who it is.
I wonder who it's going to be.
Yeah. It's LA Knight. Yeah.
Yeah. So the last match, the main event, Kevin Owens versus Solo Sikoa. It's a good, hard-hitting match.
Sikoa.
And then
Sikoa. He's not a tree.
Okay, Sikoa. You see, they're having a hard-hitting match, and then who should show up in a hoodie? Sami Zayn. He saved Sikoa from losing, so Owens win. I mean, it's a no contest, so they never really finished the match. It was just a no contest. So
it's a double count out, essentially.
Yep, double count out. So that's how you ended SmackDown.
All right. Well, we'll breeze through AEW because last night was the WWE Royal Rumble, which is the culmination of everything that we just talked about. Yeah. Wednesday Night Dynamite, we started with Jericho Appreciation Society of I believe it was Jericho and Sami Zayn, or Sami Zayn, Jesus Christ,
Sammy
Sammy Guevara.
He switched
Double
brands
Sammy.
in the middle of the week.
Double Sammy, spelled differently, but double Sammy. Sammy Guevara going up against Action Andretti and Ricky Starks after an interference and Action Andretti being hit with the baseball bat. The Jericho Appreciation Society picks up the win. We get a TNT Championship match in which another comparison of if you were to put them up in a legitimate fight, this wouldn't happen. The finish to the match was actually very believable for why he won, but it was Buddy Murphy going up against Darby Allin for the TNT Championship. The match ended with Buddy Murphy being on the outside of the ring, leaning in between the top and the middle rope, and Darby Allin doing a coffin drop from the top onto Murphy, who was leaning into the ring, which is why it makes it more of a believable finish because the impact of that with him then crumbling to the mat and the double force of the impact, neither here nor there. Ethan Page teams up with Matt Hardy to go up against Jungle Hook. Delete. Jungle Hook picks up the win, of course. Brian Danielson, don't mind me, Brian Danielson, goes up against Brian Cage, in which last week we had MJF making the proposition of Brian Cage needing to break the arm. Danielson picks up the win. The beating continues. MJF comes out. They put Danielson's arm in a chair, slam the chair into the ring post. We later get a promo backstage with Danielson and the trainer, the physical therapist. The physical therapist says, you're not cleared to wrestle. And Danielson goes, what do you know about cleared to wrestle? I'm a wrestler. It's what I'm going to do, damn it. Yeah. So they're going to play it. They're playing an angle that Danielson is 100% fighting through injury for this match for MJF. Leading up to what will be a 60-man Iron Man match, in which I've said it before, I'll say it again. People are going to want MJF to lose this Iron Man match. MJF is going to win this Iron Man match against Danielson because Danielson may be the more technical, better wrestler, but MJF is a piece of shit. We have Toni Storm versus Ruby Soho, continuing the homegrown talent versus the outside talent storyline. Even though Ruby Soho is supporting the homegrown talent as an outside talent, Ruby Soho picks up the win. As for the finish of the match, Britt Baker comes out, distracting Toni Storm, allowing Ruby Soho to pick up the win. There is then a promo either there or on Rampage, I forget which, in which Ruby Soho tells Britt Baker, I don't need your help. You can leave me alone. I can win it on my own. We then get the main event of Wednesday Night Rampage, a match in which I cried so much. You get Jay Lethal going up against Mark Briscoe, a tribute match for Jay Briscoe. And you can watch the match and I don't know how well I don't understand how well Mark Briscoe held it all together because
he held it together better than Jay Lethal.
You look at Jay Lethal. Lethal was crying in the ring. You could see he was holding back tears. He was holding back the urge to just let it all go.
You could tell he was crying before he even came out because you could see it in his eyes. Yeah,
you could just see. You could see the waterworks. He had a red nose. You could see that he had been crying. Like this was an emotional match. Mark Briscoe picks up the win.
Of course.
And it's my match of the night. Danielson versus Cage was amazing, but it's my match of the night. It's my match of the week. Having the whole roster come out at the end to properly give Jay a good send off. The week Jay passed away, they didn't do anything on AEW because the Warner Brothers executives would not let them. Because of the past life that Jay Briscoe led, the past things that he had said, that he had since corrected and gone to better himself in life. So I'm glad that they were able to give what they were able to give. And that was our main event of Wednesday Night Dynamite. Friday Night Rampage starts with Wheeler Yuta going up against Hangman Adam Page. Hangman gets the win. You get Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal going up against Best Friends in a very amusing segment with Danhausen playing a ukulele. Jarrett.
Yes, ukulele playing a ukulele.
Yes, it's a ukulele. Yes, we play it and we have fun. And I need my award back. You stole my award.
Cursed. We get Hobbs going up against a jobber. Oh, Jarrett wins the match against Best Friends. We get Hobbs going up against a jobber, continuing the Book of Hobbs segment. Hobbs wins. And then we get our main event of an elimination of Jamie Hayter versus Emi Sakura. I'm not gonna lie, I actually missed the finish of this match, but I'm assuming it's Jamie Hayter as she is the AEW Women's Champion.
Haters gonna
Haters gonna hate, and an Aiders gonna ain't. And that was Dynamite and Rampage. Ooh, let's get into the Royal Rumble. Let's try and do not a long drawn out one. So I'm gonna just say let's talk about the singles matches, and then we'll talk about the Rumbles themselves. The first official singles match that we got was LA Knight versus Bray Wyatt in the Lights Out match. That was my smoke break match.
Really? I thought
100%.
that match was really good. Visually really good.
Sure. Bray Wyatt's facial makeup and the thing on the side and LA Knight's big green things. And it was a very interesting choice. If
you did not see it, the whole match was blacklight. It was all blacklight. Bray Wyatt had on some contacts that made his eyes red. He had like a blacklight paint all on him that made
all
him
on his face, cool. The side of his head. He had a design on the side of his dome.
Yeah.
LA Knight's gear was just nice and bright and green. The ropes themselves were bright and green. There was like blacklight paint splashed everywhere that you didn't see when the lights were regular, but then you saw when there was the black lights.
There was moths everywhere, like hidden moths everywhere throughout the stadium during the blacklight that you could only see during this match.
Yeah. So that was really, I mean, that was cool. I didn't particularly care for the match. We've had Bray Wyatt back how long? And this is the first official match we've got him in. They're not really giving any clarification on Uncle Howdy. They're not giving any backstory. Like, don't get me wrong, I love the Uncle Howdy character, but like, you can't just give us this ominous person and have him saying ominous things. And just like, unless it's leading somewhere, which I really don't like. I don't see an ending light. I don't see a purpose to the storyline. I don't understand the purpose of Bray Wyatt being back.
The match itself was really short. Like I said, it was visually stunning. They had like green confetti for when he went through the table to where it kind of exploded, and it was just visually it was very pretty. After the match, Bray Wyatt put on yet another mask, and fought LA Knight to this not backstage, but like a production.
It's a side area, and then Uncle Howdy does an elbow drop and doesn't even hit LA Knight.
He missed
by a mile. By like that, at least that much. I saw someone took a video of it going downwards, and you see him hit, and then you see LA Knight just roll towards him.
Yeah, it is what it is. It was shot to where it could be believable, but
Bray Wyatt wins the match. Our next singles match is what? Bianca versus Liv.
Bianca versus Alexa.
Sorry, Alexa.
Yeah.
Bianca picks up the win. They continue the further story. After it's over, lights go out, weird things. Uncle Howdy, you think you're in control. You think you're in control. You think you're in control. And then we get, okay, let's talk about the Rumble, and then we'll talk about the main event, because neither Rumble was the main event. The pay-per-view did start, which is funny enough because my friends and I were talking about it before the pay-per-view, how we miss Pat McAfee on commentary on SmackDown. And what do we get at the beginning of the Rumble?
Pat McAfee returns. And I will tell you, he had some amazing lines throughout this. whole Royal Rumble. He had some
I
amazing
love-
lines throughout this whole Royal Rumble.
I hate Pat McAfee as a manager. I love Pat McAfee on commentary.
Yeah. He's really good. We had the men's Royal Rumble,
which starts the whole effing thing. And I'm gonna, Kevin, because I got it right here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna run down really quick 1 to 30. I don't have the elimination order, but we start off number 1, Gunther. Number 2, Sheamus.
Mm-hmm.
From there, we get The Miz, Kofi Kingston, Johnny Gargano, Xavier Woods, Karrion Kross, Chad Gable, Drew McIntyre, Santos Escobar, Angelo Dawkins, Brock Lesnar, Bobby Lashley, Baron Corbin, Seth Rollins, Otis, Rey Mysterio, who never actually comes out, Dominic Mysterio, who comes out wearing Rey's mask, proving or suggesting that he beat the shit out of his father backstage, took his mask. Elias, Finn Balor, a surprise entrant of Booker T, Damian Priest.
Dig it? I mean, it's in Texas. It's in
Montez Ford, Edge coming back at number 24, Austin Theory, Omos, Strowman, Ricochet. Number 29 was Logan Paul, and so not surprisingly enough, number 30 was Cody Rhodes. Our final 2 in the entire thing was number 1 of Gunther and number 30 of Cody. I want to say the final 4 was the 2 of them, Logan Paul and Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
Logan Paul eliminates Seth Rollins, setting up a match at WrestleMania of Seth Rollins versus Logan Paul.
Couple high spots in this match. The Logan Paul Ricochet
collision clothesline.
Yeah, collision in midair was freaking awesome. I did enjoy that. Let's see. Freaking Brock Lesnar comes in and he's not in it 4 minutes maybe, and
Lashley comes out and just
throws him out.
I love it. I loved it though. It's all we needed.
Yeah, we don't need a big thing of Brock Lesnar in there. I can't think of any other big highlighty type moments in this match. Can you?
Kofi tried to do his yearly I'm gonna get thrown out and try and get back in, and that just botched hardcore.
Yeah, that's a botch fest.
Edge continues his feud with the Judgment Day, eliminating both Finn Balor and Damian Priest.
Then they fight down the ramp.
And then they pull him over the top, eliminating Edge, and then they brawl all the way down the ramp.
To where Rhea Ripley comes out and
then gets speared by Beth Phoenix.
Yes. Who looks jacked, by the way.
I'm not gonna lie, she came out and I went, is that Tamina?
It was the hair, the big
the hair. It was purely the hair. I was like, is that Tamina Snuka? And Cody Rhodes, as everyone knew, I don't know. If they hadn't have already announced Cody was coming back for the Rumble, if they hadn't been doing this big vignette package for the last 3-4 weeks of Cody coming back for the Rumble, it would have been a fun surprise entrant, and then it would have been more like, oh man, Cody's gonna win it. But they've been saying for 4 weeks Cody's coming back for the Rumble. Cody, as soon as he came back, is like, I've came back for the championship. What else am I gonna?
You knew he was gonna win it. I will say they did make it somewhat believable. Gunther gets so much praise right now for being number 1, and he didn't sink down into. You didn't forget about him throughout the Rumble. He was
there the whole time.
He was always featured. You know, he went up against Strowman, Brock.
He went up against Lesnar. Like the moment that him and Lesnar were standing toe to toe, I'm like, yes.
Yeah,
I love Gunther. I love Gunther. I think he's so good in the fucking ring.
This is going to elevate him, I believe, so much more than where he was. Even though he's intercontinental, I think this is going to elevate him.
He could easily be. He is one of the few people that I could honestly see and believe beating Roman. But they're both heels, so there's no way they're going to make Gunther a face. There's no way they're going to make Roman a face. But of all the people, I think Gunther is one of the most believable of actually being able to beat Roman. But
And when it was just Cody and Gunther, they made it believable. Like, oh, is Gunther actually going to win this? You don't even. It was very believable,
and it was a real believable thing. I really wanted him to win. They were doing the bit where he had him in the headlock and his feet start going up, and I'm like, not this way. I'm like, come on, you can feel the momentum, and then he just pops them and he gets back up, and I'm like, yes. I mean, I hated the finish with the float over. I hate float over finishes for a Rumble because that's how it always is. But the women's match, I'm not gonna lie, I did not write down the entrance. Rhea Ripley came in number 1. We had one surprise entrant, I'd say, of Michelle McCool, who they showed earlier in the night.
I'll say two. I'll say 2 surprise entrants. We had name.
Get out of here. The women's insurance rate just went through the roof.
No. Not that one. Not that one. Not the one you're thinking of. I'm thinking of the name change, the name reversal, I would say. Doudrop finally got her name back.
As Piper Niven.
Piper Niven. It is now Piper. I hated the name Doudrop for so long.
So did I.
I hated it. So
it was really good. I'll agree with you. It was really good to see Piper back in the ring.
Yeah, and she was strong. She was strong in the ring
because she's a strong wrestler. She is legitimately a really good wrestler, especially for a wrestler of her size. And then they messed it all up with what was she, number 29 or 30? She was 30, wasn't
30.
She? Nia Jax is back.
Jax. And not only that, they messed up the whole thing. They played her music
because they popped her name on like 7. Yeah, it was on like 7, and then they hit her music. Yeah. They were so excited to have Nia Jax back, they just couldn't wait.
But anyway, this was the match, the Royal Rumble match that I actually didn't know who was going to win going into it.
No one knew because they weren't doing any big buildup for any particular female wrestler.
Exactly. Even when they got down to the final 3, the new Asuka, the new look for Asuka. Oh my God.
So you could say new look for Asuka, but I'm just gonna say, like, if you're not on Twitter, you would have never seen this coming. I'm on Twitter, so Asuka for the last month has been posting photos of her in crazy face paint, like contacts and crazy face paint. Like, I love it, dude. The mask she came out in, a great traditional Japanese mask for kabuki and performance. And then the great face paint underneath it. Like, there were some great returns.
The ring attire too. I mean, it was pants. It was pants.
There were great returns. I'd say the only real surprise entrant was Michelle McCool. Because for me, Piper and Asuka are both returns. Because Piper did, before she was on Raw as Doudrop, she was wrestling on NXT and NXT UK as Piper Niven.
Yeah.
So it was a good return. Michelle McCool lasted much longer than I thought she would. The mere fact that they're just like, well, she's in the audience, play her music.
Well, I literally 2 days before the Rumble, I saw something on Twitter to where, like, I didn't get the call. It's in my hometown. I'm surprised I didn't get the call. I'm like, really? And then I see her in the crowd, and I'm like,
sure.
I'm like, okay, you're gonna be in it.
Okay. So it comes down. I didn't write anything about the women's match because I was honestly just enjoying it so much.
Yeah.
I don't even know who the final 2 were. I think was it Asuka? No, Asuka was like 3rd or 4th last eliminated.
Yeah, it was Rhea and oh my God, I can't remember.
What? It wasn't Bailey, was it? No, because Bailey got it. When Bailey got eliminated, I was so upset. Asuka or Rhea Ripley wins it.
It was Liv. It was Liv, Asuka, and Rhea on the apron. Apron.
Those were your final 3. Your final 3.
Asuka went to blow the mist into Rhea ducks. Liv gets it. Yeah, Liv gets
Rhea eliminates Asuka. Rhea eliminates Liv.
Yeah, it was.
And I'm glad that Rhea won and not Liv. I would have been furious if Liv Morgan had won. Not that she's not a great wrestler, but she already had her chance and her blew it.
So there's your number 1 to winning for the first time in the women's match.
1 to winning. She is the Shawn Michaels of women.
And I do love me.
She's lost. she's lost her smile.
I will say
I
this.
think
My daughter was at Rumble and she messaged me and she goes, I am so happy. I lost my voice. I was yelling so much that Rhea won. She's very happy about that too. So I just wanted to say
it's a great win. And I think she's gonna go challenge Charlotte.
really,
I'd rather see Rhea versus Charlotte than Rhea versus Bianca.
if she does challenge Charlotte and wins, she'll be a Grand Slam title. She'll have Grand Slam.
And that's also, I didn't know that, but that's also a good reason to have her go after Charlotte.
But I don't want to see another Rhea Charlotte at Mania. I just don't.
And then we get our main event.
Oh yes,
Roman Reigns versus Kevin Owens. And earlier in the night, Roman looks and goes, "Twins, I want you to stay in the back. Tonight, it's me and Sammy. Me and Sammy are going out there.
And Sammy, I don't want you to do anything, you know." So the match happens. It's a really good match.
It's a really good match. Like let's be honest though. Everyone knows how this ends. Roman Reigns beats Kevin Owens, and now let's get to the real meat and potatoes of this pay-per-view. Kevin Owens just gets handcuffed. Okay, first of all, let's talk about the two major bumps that Kevin Owens took as
Roman
my
God,
threw him into the stairs, and you see the back of his head slam into the edge of the stairs.
Yeah. This is not a normal throw into the stairs like when they throw him into the side of the stairs. No, he fell into the actual steps of the stairs.
The grooves. Backwards. He fell into the groove. Yeah. Oh my God. Twice. And then they handcuff him to the top ropes, and then unprotected super kick after super kick after
double super kick. He took a
then,
freaking beating. Like it. Oh.
And then Roman has a chair, and I literally look at my friends and go, "Oh my God, we are gonna get Rock Mankind right now." I thought we were about to see Kevin just get pummeled in the head multiple times with a chair. Sammy steps in between Kevin and Roman, and he's like, "This, it's enough.
It's beneath you. You don't need to do this."
Yeah. It's beneath you. You've made your point. We don't need to do this. And Roman goes to hand the chair to Sammy. He's like, "Well, you're gonna do it then."
Yeah, he says, "You're right. You do it.
You do it."
And then it takes Sammy a minute,
and it's a real struggle. It's a real struggle.
You can see it in his face. He's struggling with this decision. This whole thing played out amazingly. It was acted out great.
And then Sammy hits Roman, and the crowd erupts. And Jimmy and Jay are shocked. What are you doing? Solo doesn't know what to do, and then Jimmy super kicks him. Oh, Jimmy super kicks Sammy.
And
then he gets on him, and Solo gets on him, and Roman gets on him, and Jay is just standing in the corner.
Yep.
And they are beating him, and then they look at Jay, and Jay is standing in the corner. And they beat him more, and they look at Jay, and Jay steps forward and rolls out of the ring, walking away.
Yes. So, I know you said...
I'm not even kidding. Like, I'm getting legitimate goosebumps just talking and thinking about what happened last night at the Rumble.
It was really good.
They ripped Sammy's shirt off of him. They beat him more while Jay's just walking away from the ring. Even looking back. Not even looking back. Just walking away from the ring.
This happened almost exactly how you said it would, except for the J twist. The J twist, and that's what is making this even more interesting now.
Because I thought we were setting up for the Usos versus Sammy and Kevin, but what are they doing with Jay? Because this is real. Like,
he's a tag team champion with his brother.
But the thing is he's the one that didn't want Sammy.
Yeah, no.
Jimmy was the one that loved Sammy. Jay is the one that didn't want him. And now Jimmy's like, F him. And Jay is like, no.
Exactly.
Like, oh my God. I cannot wait for Monday Night Raw. I cannot wait to see like what we get.
It's going to be great. All right, guys, that does it for this week in wrestling with the Mod Squad, Layeth the Squad down. I hope you enjoyed this week in wrestling as much as we did, because
We definitely did.
It was a really, really good week. If you are listening to this on podcast, please make sure you check us out on YouTube. If you're checking us out on YouTube and you're out and about, check us out on podcast. Steve, where can people find you on your podcast?
Last podcast you'd want, you go find me on Back to the Retro Review with this schmuck over here, this schmooly. My schmooly. I'm gonna betray you. I'm a Judas. Last podcast you want, it comes out once a week. I actually have to release my new episode. I need to go record it. Damn. Other than that, tip the veal, try the staff. Thank you all for coming. And if you didn't, better luck next time.
All right, guys, that does it for this episode of Layeth the Squad Down. So for Steve, I am Kevin saying, keep on wrestling, everybody.
Acknowledge me.